I think it's very egoistic to suddenly decide I'm taking a break for 3 years. It's wrong. It's a wrong kind of feeling to have. Every day you learn something in front of the cameras, and to just say I'll take a break for 3 years and then come back and assume that you're going to be in the same position is a fallacy.
On September 27th, 2016, I had uploaded a video talking about 5 Bollywood actors to look out for in the future. This included the likes of Shashank Arora, Sayani Gupta, Kriti Sanon, and finally Vikrant Massey, a man who has had a long journey in the film industry and who is also considered to be a formidable talent that deserves the hype. Everyone was left shocked 2 days ago when he announced through his Instagram that he will be taking a long break after his 2 ventures come out, for which he is already shooting. A lot of people generated their own theories regarding Vikrant's announcement. Some stated that it's quite funny that no one bats an eyelid when a woman takes a break for her family, but God forbid that a man announces the same and there is pandemonium. And the other aspect of the reactions included the pessimists, who dismissed this as a PR strategy, a means to market his next project, which is a documentary on the making of 12th Fail titled Zero Se Restart. Everyone started formulating the reason why Vikrant, who is at the prime of his career, who was showered with praise for his biggest solo hit just recently, who everyone assumes will only use this momentum to further do great work, why the hell is he taking a break right now? See, he has already clarified that this is not an early retirement, but just a long break, because he is burnt out. I am already stating this before expanding on other stories in this video, that if this is just a means to do PR for an upcoming title, then it's along the lines of Poonam Pandey claiming to be dead. I equate it to the same because it is the levels of desperation if it is the case of just PR. But the optimist within me and the heartfelt interactions I have had with Vikrant makes me believe that it can't just be restricted to such dirty tactics for attention. Irrespective, if it were the case that Vikrant is actually taking a break, do we really blame him? The man has literally been working in the industry since his teenage years without a break, has made a praiseworthy transition to the mainstream, and just wants a break. If it is genuine, I actually don't see anything wrong with it. The uproar with Vikrant's announcement also puts into context the toxic culture that is embedded in us as Indians, to be workhorses till our last breath, trudging and toiling on this journey and never stopping, because God forbid, if someone were to put their foot on the brake, people would assume them to be incompetent losers. The man has worked hard, generated a reasonable monetary cap for himself, has a beautiful family. Let him live if he wants to take a break, even if it is at the prime of his career. Isn't it so much better than being in a position where everyone assumes you to be a has-been in the industry? Isn't it so much better to call for a break when everyone loves and admires your work? I am in no way drawing a parallel over here in terms of talent, because Daniel Day-Lewis is in a league of his own and is definitely in the Mount Rushmore of GOATs. But isn't it amazing that one day he just chooses to take a step back from the industry, and the memories we have of him are the spectacular work he has done, versus an actor who couldn't acknowledge that his time has passed? That's different. That Daniel Day-Lewis is so method in his own ways that I won't be surprised if you randomly walk into a store and he might be working as a tailor or a cobbler somewhere, because he gets so obsessed with the trade of his characters. But my point is to leave when you're still wanted and celebrated in the industry. Look at Vijay from Tamil cinema. The man can do the most mediocre films, but the abundant love that the audience have for him is so unmatched that they still will end up doing business most dream of with their best films. Taking a step away from the film industry to pursue a career in politics is not anything new, but this is usually a transition that many celebrities do when they see a huge dip in their popularity in films, in contrast to Vijay, who was at the prime of his career. This made me think about several examples of talented or popular actors who just left the trade when they were still the talk of the town in the film industry. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with when Bollywood celebrities quit acting in their prime. As I previously said, no one used to bat an eyelid when female celebrities used to take time off from the limelight because they prioritize their families. This is actually a new phenomena spearheaded by Kareena Kapoor. A movement may be done absolutely devoid from it wanting to be a statement to the public. I also say this by knowing that there are many women, mothers and wives out there who juggle a married life and kids with their professional life with grace and ease. This is not to present Kareena Kapoor as some leader of a movement which is universal across women and societies. But when it comes to commercial cinema in the film industry, she is one of the first who did not take the foot off the pedal despite having kids and still remains a worthy commercial face in the industry.
I don't know. I think I enjoy that hustle of, working at the same time of, being a mother and a wife. I love it.
However, this is regarding women of the 21st century. Many decades ago, the judgment and structure of society was way more conservative and patriarchal in its ways, where it was assumed regarding women that it doesn't matter if they were the biggest stars. They would take a hiatus or completely quit the film industry to take care of their family. You look at someone as popular as Nargis Dutt in the 40s and 50s. Her appearances with Raj Kapoor were globally known, with massive hits like Barsat, Andaz and Avara. Nargis was one of the most celebrated commercial heroines of the time, cementing her position as one of the best in the film industry with Street 420 in 1955 and the Oscar-nominated Mother India in 1957. Imagine having such a successful streak at the movies in the 50s and getting married in 1958, only to feature in films few and far between, as she mainly took care of the family, with her last appearance in a movie being in 1967 in a movie titled Raat Aur Din. This was a life cut off from the limelight until unfortunately the actress fell terribly ill in 1980. However, this was extremely common among actresses to not consider the peak of their careers as a priority and shift focus towards their families. If we were to look at the life of Neetu Singh, a celebrated child star who married into the illustrious Kapoor family, it seems to be a similar story, a clear segregation between what is a priority and what isn't, and honestly, each to their own. Neetu Singh was a huge child star in the 60s and was showered with praise as a leading actor in the 70s and 80s. Her appearances in films like Diwar, Khel Khel Mein, Kabhi Kabhi and Amar Akbar Anthony are etched in everyone's memory. However, after getting married to Rishi Kapoor in 1980, Neetu Kapoor wrapped up professional commitments and took care of her family, only making her return at the movies with her cameo in Love Aajkal after 26 years.
Never in my head did I ever think I'll come back and start working.
Never.
Never. I always thought कि बस this is my life, ये मेरे बच्चे हैं, मेरा husband and this is my domain.
One would assume that this is a story of the 50s to the 80s, but many leading heroines have by choice prioritized a family life over their film careers even in the late 90s and 2000s. Namrata Shirodkar was hugely popular in the late 90s and mid 2000s in Hindi and Telugu cinema. She was crowned Miss India in 1993 and especially got commercial notoriety with films like Vastav, Vamsi and Bride and Prejudice. However, after marrying Mahesh Babu in 2005, she prioritized her family and left the film industry. There are many thought processes regarding the same because there are quotes of male actors like Mahesh Babu who have said that they do not like a working wife, or something horrifying, such as the anecdote told by Raveena Tandon when she speaks about being left at the altar and was willing to leave her acting career at her prime because the partner was insistent that she leaves the industry.
Give up your career and we'll get married. And I remember the last time when he said that, and I said, once in my life I chose you over my career, but I'm sorry, this time I think I'm going to choose my career.
I am no one to have a moral judgment regarding the same because these are adults making adult decisions. I don't personally agree with them, but hey, I'm just a random creator. Everyone assumes that Salman Khan got insane attention after Maine Pyar Kiya, but he vehemently speaks about how all the attention after the release of the film actually went to Bhagyashree, as she became a national sensation. However, she barely featured in films despite the monumental success of the film, sparingly appearing in lesser known films and mainly focusing her attention on family. You look at someone like Asin, a hugely popular commercial star who featured in a list of blockbusters across Tamil, Telugu and Hindi cinema. And just when you thought there was no looking back for the actress, she left the industry with no signs of ever making a comeback. Her last appearance in the 2015 Hindi film All Is Well. This is a similar predicament that I find with Ayesha Takia, who in my opinion was such a talented actor who was actually quite underappreciated for her roles in the mid-2000s. I found her to be effortless in both understated and dramatic roles, featuring in impressive ventures like Socha Na Tha, Door, Wanted and No Smoking. But we saw the actress vanish from the limelight after her last appearance in the film Mode in 2011, the assumed notion being to focus on family life. There is however a case like that of Anushka Sharma, who even at the peak of her career, which was the beginning by the way because she had such an impactful debut, where she was clear she wouldn't want to work post her marriage.
I want to be married. I want to have kids. And when I'm married, I probably do not want to be working.
While Anushka bagged several commercial projects and made waves as a producer, it seems like she has distanced herself from the industry, with no signs of ever making a return, content with her personal life today. While these examples can still be referenced as conscious decisions of prioritizing personal lives, there are also instances which catch you off guard, making you shocked but the reasons why the actors left the film industry. Vinod Khanna was one of the most popular faces of the Hindi film industry from the 70s to the 80s, but if you follow his filmography, you will notice that he had a 5-year break between 1982 and 1987, considered to be his peak as a leading man. This is when Vinod Khanna joined Osho in Rajneeshpuram, the commune in Oregon, presumably to achieve enlightenment. Imagine having all the monetary riches and success and leaving everything to join this movement, leaving even your family in India.
Not only to leave his family, to take sannyas. Sannyas only doesn't really only mean taking your leaving your family. It means giving up your life in totality.
Vinod Khanna, however, returned after 5 years to be reintegrated into the industry, but never soaring to the same heights as a leading man. The most fascinating break in someone's filmography, however, is that of Akshay Khanna, Vinod Khanna's son, who we anyway get to see sparingly in films. Akshay was hugely popular in the mid-2000s. Dil Chahta Hai, Humraaz, Halchal, Gandhi My Father, Race, so much stellar work. However, as the 2010s rolled in, we really got to see less of the actor, taking a break in 2012 and returning 4 years later with Dishum in 2016. While the actor claims to have undergone several personal issues during the same time, I still stand by the actor being one of the most talented artists who absolutely lights up the screen whenever he features in any movie. When you look at the cases of Zaira Wasim and Sana Khan, the main reason for their departure from films is equated to their religion. Zaira absolutely was causing waves with her appearances in movies like Dangal and Secret Superstar. At such a young age, one assumed that only the sky would be the limit. While Zaira is far too young to have an analysis of the same, Sana Khan featured in many shows and movies before her exit from the film industry. Since Sana's departure, she spends time on social media with her podcast, speaking about her thought process regarding her time in the limelight, equating Shaitan to have taken over and disrobed her in the time she spent in the industry, which I don't want to spend time on because I personally find it to be too extreme for my own liking, but each to their own. While a lot of people would want me to mention Imran Khan in this category, you have to realize that Imran was also in a downward spiral of sorts with his career in the industry. While Imran had a great initial run at the movies, with successful ventures like Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na, I Hate Love Stories, Ek Main Aur Ek Tu and Delhi Belly, the chinks in the armor regarding his acting range were also exposed as the years passed by, featuring in many duds including the likes of Once Upon a Time in Mumbai Dobara and Gori Tere Pyar Mein. With his last venture being the flop Katti Batti, the conscious decision for him to distance himself from the industry was also because the signs were not favorable for a successful future, versus the case of many actors who I'm talking about who were doing reasonably well in the industry. Rimi Sen is a great example of an actor who was absolutely killing it at the movies. She featured in several commercial projects and was a talent to be reckoned with. But when you see her statements when she featured years later in Bigg Boss, it's almost as if she fell out of love with the movies. Having worked so regularly across the years in the 2000s, almost a sense of exhaustion kicked in and a lack of interest to ever return.
I am not acting anymore because I really never enjoyed acting that much. It was just कि go with the flow. अब मैं कर रही थी, मिल रहे थे फिल्म में कर रही थी, but I was tired of doing comedy films at one point of time, so I just quit acting.
Everyone has their reasons, and there will always come a time when you will also find yourself at crossroads of sorts. So think of the same, have some empathy also, and learn to live and let live. This path will genuinely make you live a very peaceful life. Some unwanted gyan from your brother as I sign off. Until we meet again. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you think about these exits while people were at the prime of their career. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching. Retirement नहीं ले रहा हूँ. पुष्पा का review next है. See you then.